Hey everyone, Andrew here from a Tale of Two Hygienists podcast. Yes, you are on the right feed, but no, this is not a normal show. I wanted to let you know right now that what you are about to hear is not suitable for work. It is likely also not appropriate for children. If you are sensitive to racy topics, go ahead and hit that delete button right now. You might not like this episode. But now that you've been warned, please welcome to a special RDH Rant Takeover episode with Heather, Anna, and Liz.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of RDH Rant Takeover. I'm Anna, and joining me today are my queen bees, Heather.
Hello.
And Liz.
Hello.
So for today's episode, we are going to talk about hygiene hacks. And no, I'm not talking about you heavy-handed RDHs that hack off papillas and rip shit up and cause butt baths. We are going to talk about those tips and tricks we've learned throughout the years that make our jobs a little easier and make our days go a little smoother.
Yes, and probably not ones that we learned in school either.
Exactly.
Ones we had to learn on our own or from our co-hygienists.
You know, it's funny, like I was thinking about it and I'm like, when I graduated, I'm going to age myself right now, I'm sorry, but I graduated 22 years ago and there was no Facebook groups, there was none of this stuff. So it was like, you know, the things that I've learned since these RDH groups came out is like insane. I'm like, I envy these new graduates because they have a plethora of knowledge at their hands.
Oh yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
I have learned so much from our group. I can't even, the value of our group alone, not just for like the support and the community and everything, just learning how to get through your day to day and how to get through appointments is just, it's invaluable to me.
Yes,
Absolutely.
and I think that's what we said kind of the last time is a lot of people see RDH Rant and they think, oh, it's just a place for us to bitch and whine and moan and complain. But I feel like that's kind of the least of our posts that we have daily. It's more of tips and hacks and tricks and funny memes and heartwarming stories. Of course, there's the rants in there, but...
Absolutely, but...
I even think the rants are helpful because they allow us to realize that things that are going wrong in somebody's office may be going wrong across the board, or empower us to speak up and stand up for ourselves.
Absolutely.
Wasn't too long ago, someone said, thank you for this group because I finally had the balls to stand up to my toxic office and tell them to shove it.
Yep.
Fuck it.
Yeah. Kick rocks, dude. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. We've
so
learned
much
quite
knowledge, a bit. You know, and as a veteran hygienist, I guess I can call myself that.
You're
now
seasoned.
years.
You're seasoned.
Yeah, I'm
seasoned.
a seasoned hygienist. I'm an old bag. No,
No, you're not.
No, I know. But it's like some of the things that I feel like even, you know, being in hygiene that long, some of the things I've learned on these groups, I still didn't learn on my own. Like it's, you know, you learn something new every day. It's insane.
Yes.
Anyway, one of the first ones that I want to talk about, and this is one I don't quite understand. Liz, you understand it better than me.
Hold on. I'm going to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I know you sent a post out saying, hey, everybody, give us all of your favorite, like, hacks,
Hygiene
tips.
hacks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The very first one that somebody wrote was my favorite. And I just have to say that one first.
Okay, go ahead, go.
Her favorite hygiene hack is to just call in sick.
Oh, yes, I have those, the funny ones, yes. Yeah.
She said her day goes so much smoother. and I concur. That's probably one of the best hacks out there.
She ain't wrong.
Yes, she ain't wrong. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So, Liz, you seem to understand this one, I think, more than I do, is how not to overlap x-rays. And you tried to explain it to me,
Yes.
and I still didn't get it. And you even drew a picture.
A very bad picture.
And it looked like... And it looked like a penis going into her ear, so... I'm leaving this one to you.
I missed this.
Oh my god.
This is the one you need to explain.
Okay. Okay, so I listen to all of the x-ray hacks because I am notoriously bad for taking x-rays, and I still kind of suck at it because when I was in perio, I didn't have to take a whole lot of x-rays, okay? I took maybe on like a busy week, maybe 10 x-rays a week. Like not even a whole FMX.
wow.
work. Yeah. Okay. So that's just something I fall short on. So as far as the hack for the x-rays is not to get overlap on the molars, is to point the cone toward the opposite ear. Okay. So don't line it up when you put the RIN, like the XCP in. I think that the tendency is to want to line up the flat part of the cone with the flat part of the RIN. But you don't do that. What you do is you take the part of the cone and aim it to the opposite ear. So if you're doing bite wings on the right side of somebody's mouth, then you point the cone to the left ear.
Gotcha. So you're almost bringing the cone more forward,
Yes.
I gather, right?
Yes.
Then? Okay.
The actual
yes.
head of the x-ray machine, you're moving,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Is what you're saying. So it doesn't line up perfectly. The circle of the x-ray head does not line up perfectly with the little circle on the end of the stick.
Right. In very, very
Gotcha.
basic and very technical terms, yes, the circle doesn't line up with the stick.
Yes. Sorry, I'm really good at dumbing stuff down because that's how I have to have it done to me.
Yeah.
I always say that. Talk to me like I'm 5.
Yes.
Yes, so this is what I do, which is pretty much almost the same thing, kind of.
Okay.
What I do is I have the patient so I'm doing the right side first. I have them open up. I put the x-ray sensor in. It's all in the little red, whatever you call it, RIN thing. And I pull it to where it's right up against their teeth.
Like parallel.
Yes,
So
like
yeah.
side by side. I pull it right up next to their teeth. And then I take it and keep the very back end by like number 31 where it is and just kind of flare
Angle
it open.
Yep. That's exactly what I do.
So that way the front part of the sensor, like around 29, comes kind of in towards the middle of their mouth, like more towards their tongue.
Okay, so you're talking about moving the sensor and not the cone.
The whole
so
sensor.
It's kinda, and it has the same result.
Okay.
It has the same result. So when you do that, so you're putting the sensor in all in the little contraption and you put it all the way back by 31. You keep that distal part where it is. The mesial part of the sensor, I pull towards the tongue.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's almost diagonal.
Okay, yeah, I got it.
And then have them bite. And then I tell them, because they're like, oh, this is different. I tell them, I know this feels funny, but keep it how it is. Do not have your tongue push it back. And then you can take the XCP head or whatever, the x-ray head, up to the XCP circle RIN
Yeah.
perfectly
Okay.
Yes.
and make your shot.
Okay.
Yes.
So you moved
So it's
it.
kind of
That's
like the
what I
same
do.
concept. It's the same
The
exact
same
concept.
concept,
It's
just a
angling
yes.
the sensor differently or angling the cone differently.
So
Gotcha.
then you know, for me, I like it because then you know the circle can touch the circle perfectly.
And you know you're not going to cone cut. Yes.
You're not going to cone cut and all of that.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's what I do. So hopefully you
Not-
guys can visualize all of that. If not, we're sorry. Just fast forward through this whole first
Well,
5
and there
minutes
was
of
a-
this
Just ask
podcast.
Liz to draw you a picture and
Yeah. I will send you. Yes, I will slide into your DMs and send you my very bad unsolicited penis to the ear pic.
penis pic.
Of how to do this technique. But one other one that I want to point out was I think we had a different type of RIN or XCP when I was working at a different office for a while. I was always cutting off the apices of the anteriors. And at the office I'm at now, I don't have that problem because what they bite on is a little bit thicker. But if you are having a problem with not getting the apices of the anterior teeth, when you're doing the PAs there, have them bite on a cotton roll that's placed on
Yes.
the what's it called? The sensor holder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The little red, blue,
The blue
yellow.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. In my office, red is bite wings, blue is anterior, yellow is posterior.
Yep.
Okay.
I do that for also edentulous patients. I'll put
Yes.
a cotton roll right on top so that it almost simulates that they have top teeth if you're trying to get the bottom
Yes.
teeth. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it kind of like they'll bite down and you're kind of
And
trying
they bite down too much.
You're trying to like
Yeah.
balance it on the one tooth they have back there, and it's not really balancing.
Yep.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you
Yeah.
for that. See, I just learned something new.
So
There you go.
I don't know if it was on the post you put out, Anna, but a long time ago, I feel like so my problem is when I'm taking an FMX and I'm doing the 3 upper anterior, so K9, and then 8 and 9, and then K9.
Yeah.
My K9 shots have overlapping.
I think
And
that's
someone
okay.
said, well, somebody had a hack for that where they said you just put the sensor directly behind 8 and 9 for all 3 shots.
Oh,
You just
no.
move the head.
I don't
And
see
she
that
swore
working.
by it. And
Oh,
I
maybe.
have tried to do that, and I can't make it work. So, Ranter, if you're out there, I'm sorry I don't remember who you were. But can you explain that to me again? Like maybe with a video and a drawing? Because
I feel like I would
hate...
cone cut if I was trying, just like moving it to the K9 and leaving it in the 8 and 9 section.
Yes, I have practiced. Like on my assistants and stuff.
Do they?
I don't know.
Does
She
mean
swore by it.
Leave it at the 8 and 9, but angle it. Angle.
I do that. Like it's an 8 and 9. I take the shot, and then I don't even take the sensor out. I just move it over.
Do you
A
move
tiny
it?
bit.
Yeah,
over or
I do
angle
that
it?
too,
canine
but I
area.
still get overlapping.
Okay.
It's okay to get overlapping on the distal. I feel like because you're going to get that in your bite wing shot. You should. The distal of the K9 you're supposed to get in your bite wing shot. So
Also, a little hack, if I miss the apices on an FMX of a premolar, when I am doing the anterior, I try to get that apice on an anterior, so it's in
There you
there
go.
somewhere.
yeah, you'll get it.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know that hack, and I can't even remember, but I feel like it was maybe a year ago. But I was like, oh, that's amazing. I'm going to try that. And then I did, and I'm like, well, that sucked.
That didn't work.
You just need an artist like me to show you.
Yeah, I know. She wasn't very artistic.
One of the biggest things that polishing first.
Yes.
That one is always mentioned.
Oh, that is the favorite.
Yeah,
that is
one
my
is like one of the
favorite.
favorite hacks that people share is like, oh, polish first.
Yes.
I've adapted that with kids, and teenagers, but I haven't done it with adults yet, and I don't know why. I just haven't adapted it yet for them, but
I
No,
do with
you
adults
should.
who are just caked in plaque. If somebody's
Yeah.
absolutely
I do.
caked
I
in
started doing
plaque,
it for everyone.
but I don't do it. If somebody has good home care and I don't need to polish first, I don't. But if somebody just has especially like a bunch of marginal plaque,
Yes.
polishing first. It just gets rid of so much.
What
stuff.
I didn't realize is that my patients actually pay attention to what I do. So in the last 6 months, I've been polishing first, and I kind of see their wheels turning, and some of them
like,
won't
what are
say
you
anything.
doing?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then some of them are like, I'm not like trying to tell you how to do your job, but did you know you didn't take that thing and scrape my teeth yet? So I just laugh. I'm like, oh, sorry. No, I just laugh. So I started just kind of picking out, what flavor do you want, blah, blah, blah. We have a full menu at my office, which I love. I know all you mean hygienists. They're all getting mint.
It's me. I'm the
No, they're getting whatever the hell ends up on my tray.
I'm the mean hygienist.
You guys are assholes.
This ain't Baskin Robbins, okay? If it's not 38
Yes.
flavors.
No,
You
my
get what
office.
you get and you
no.
don't get upset.
When I first started at my office, it was like mint and bubblegum and plain. And
Plain? What's plain?
Just like
sand.
Like-
like pumice.
Ew.
It's like
Ew.
pumice. When people ask me, well, what's plain taste like? I'm like, the beach. Sand. But it tastes like the beach, but not the good beach. Like, the sandbox in your backyard that the cats poop in. That. Not like the beach with the white sand and the salty water and the coconut yummy drinks.
No beach.
If you're
good,
an adult,
It doesn't.
if you're an adult that comes in and sits in my chair, I am just assuming that you want mint. Sometimes people will have in their chart that they don't like mint, and that's fine. And if they don't like mint, then I'll note
you're
it.
mean.
I am mean, and I don't have time for you to sit there and I don't know.
No, I
Maybe I
give
want
them
strawberry, or maybe I want cherry.
Yes,
Oh no, you know what?
strawberry's
I want
the best.
cinnamon. Who wants
So-
cinnamon? Nobody wants cinnamon.
No, cinnamon is so popular in my office, and I
Is
have to
it?
say, cinnamon is gross. Like, I am
Ew.
not like a Hot Tamales, Red Hots, Big Red Gum,
Fireball.
but it is so popular.
Yeah.
I don't like
No.
Fireball either.
I got sick off of Goldschlager. You remember Goldschlager?
Yes!
Yeah, I got sick off of that once, and I can't even, still to this day, smell like cinnamon gum. It nauseates
Okay,
me.
side story. So
Ugh.
I haven't been able to stomach cinnamon ever since my husband and I, when we were in our 20s, he got really wasted at a bar, and I had to hold his head over, hold him up so he would barf in the toilet. But it was hot damn. You remember hot damn?
Yes,
Oh!
hot damn.
And so ever since I've smelled hot damn coming out, I've never been able to do cinnamon again.
Do you remember Aftershock?
Yes.
Did anyone's Aftershock, and it had like those like crystal spikes at the bottom, and I was like underage drinking, and that's like all we could sneak, and then never mind.
Ugh.
I'm not gonna go down that way. Anyway,
So polishing first. That's
polishing
the
first,
big
and I asked. So I started explaining to my patients. Okay, I'm flipping things around. I went to a CE. Yeah, I know I lied. But we're like a CE. And, so I'm going to polish first. And what that does is it removes any soft debris or any staining that you have easy with the
So we
rubber
don't
tip.
so we have to scale less.
Right.
Yes, that's what I tell them. So then I go back and then I can really see what needs to be scaled. So it means less scraping for you. And most people enjoy the less scraping. And then they're like, oh, yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
Yeah.
Now I will go back, like if there was a heavy like calculus on the lower anteriors, I'll go back and polish just those teeth after I scale off the calculus.
Yeah, I'll do that sometimes
Yeah.
too.
But it has really saved me. It's a time saver. The patients, after I explain it to them why I'm doing it different, enjoy it.
Exactly. I don't even
But-
explain it. I just do it.
Well, I was just doing it, and then it's when I noticed they really ask. I mean, they really do
yeah, I
pay
know.
attention. I'm like, well, why don't you take my other advice? Like, floss, brush,
Yep.
And I wouldn't have to
exactly.
scale this nasty shit off your teeth.
This hack I absolutely love, and I never thought of it, but one of our ranters said, after you clean your room, leave your chair tipped back somewhat. Because you have those patients that are like, oh my God, you can't lay me back. Don't lay me back.
Yes.
If you leave it tipped back a little bit, you're able to like get them
Yes.
that much more back before they bitch and say, oh,
Yes.
don't tip me back. I love
have
that.
so many of those patients. One day I was having a bad day. I had this super old, crotchety lady who I literally was like 2 seconds. And she's like, oh, that's enough. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she was just like bitchy. And so I was like, so how do you sleep at night?
Exactly. I always ask that. Do you sleep
And
laying
she
down?
looked at me and she was like, excuse me? I'm like, and I was like in my cheery little voice, I'm like, yeah, like, oh my gosh, do you have to sleep sitting up in a recliner? You poor thing. Like, how do you sleep at night? You can't lay back like this? Oh my, And she just looked at me and was like, well, I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She still wouldn't lay back though.
Somebody
I
else
don't give
said
them a
that if for the ones who are notorious for not laying back, like they've conspired with the dentist to come in first and do the exam because the patients will always lay back
Exactly.
Yes.
for the dentist, but not for us.
Always.
So the dentist will come
Always.
in, lay them back, do the exam first, and then the hygienist will just leave
them in that position. Yep.
And they don't say a word.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I did notice that because I will say, like, in my dentist all the time, I have 3 different ones that will rotate some, and they'll just interrupt us, and I love that, so I don't have to wait at the end. And I'll say, oh, Mrs. or Mr. So-and-so can't lay back very far. And then the patient, like, right in front of me, be like, oh, it's fine, you can lay me back. I'm like, what? You just told me you couldn't lay back.
Exactly.
I really don't have
Bitch, you
that,
lying.
I don't have that many patients. Now, I'm probably jinxing myself, but I really don't have that many patients where I haven't been able to lean them back. I've had a couple
I have a ton.
who have vertigo problems, which I get, and I'll find a happy medium with them, like, can we do this a little bit further, a little bit further. And usually I can talk them through it. And then I'll note on their chart, I was able to lay them back. I give an estimate. You guys know how I am with my notes. I give an estimated like degree that I can lay them back just so I know in my head. I know.
What?
It's just so I can remember for next time. Like I could lay them back like, not 45 degrees.
80 degrees.
Like, yeah, I know.
I mean, I make pretty thorough notes.
I don't even know what 80 degrees means to even know
me
like
too.
how to put that in my note. I'd be like,
Yeah. I'm just like, patient can't lay back. But I don't know. We have neck pillows.
Yes, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And
those
I
annoy me
noticed-
though because they leave the head tilted forward and their like chin is in their chest.
Mm-mm.
Because you have the
Annoys
wrong
the
neck
crap out of
pillow.
me.
You have the wrong neck
Yeah,
The
pillows.
wrong neck
we're-
pillow.
I
So
work
we
for corporate.
have
We don't have like fancy shit.
no. This is not fancy. I mean,
Oh no.
and I work for very good dentists, and they get us whatever we like, and they're very like, if we're gonna buy something, we're gonna put the money and buy the good stuff. These are literally like little tiny, almost like dollar store beanbag little pillows. They are the best. They are full of like little tiny
Beads?
beads.
Yeah.
And so they smush.
Yeah.
And we just put them in a plastic like headrest cover.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so then their head can kind of dip and the beads kind of disperse out. And so it doesn't put their head forward. That is the best thing. And I'm telling you, like, I would go and buy it on with my own money. Just, spend $2 on it.
I might do
And
that.
then you can lay them back further because they feel more stable.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of the people feel like that and I will tell them when they start to get a little like weird, I'm like, your head is still well above your ankles. Like you're not getting ready
Yeah.
to slide
Exactly.
out of this chair. I know that you feel like you are and you think you are, but your head's still like 6 inches above your ankles. You're fine.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't lay back. Please stop.
Yeah. I have a lot of people that have allergies and sinus issues.
Yeah.
So laying them back, all the drainage comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh. And then they have to like hack and cough, and then I have to sit them up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, just forget it. I'll sit you up.
The worst is when they cough with like a pool of blood and water in the back of their throat and it's a
Yes.
splat right in your face and you're like, thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's great.
Have you ever
Love
looked in
it.
the back of a patient's mouth and you've actually saw their drainage?
Ew.
Ew.
I would.
Yeah.
Ew. I don't.
Yes.
No. I think I would quit hygiene. I can't. Phlegm. No.
That was one of the very few things that grossed me out.
You know how
I'm
you
like,
are.
you don't have to
know how
open
you
so
are
wide.
about like poop and farts
Poop?
and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's
Ugh.
how I am about
Gross.
like phlegm and snot and stuff. I just can't. Blech.
Ew.
I
was
I
gross.
literally feel like I'm gonna gag just talking about it. So okay, so let's move on. 'Cause
All right.
it's gross. Oh no, actually, speaking of gagging, gag reflex. That was a
Yes.
that was a big one that people
We
had
have-
input on.
Yep.
I personally, oh my gosh, I pray to the deities that I believe in and don't believe in every time I have a new patient that I have to take a FMX on, that they're not a gagger.
Please don't be a gagger.
Yep. Every time, because I swear I always get them.
Salt.
I'll be honest
I'm
with you. I
telling you.
gag on X-rays. Those things
No,
are
you
huge.
don't. You
Yes,
are
I
a
do.
hooker. You are a hooker. You are not gagging on no x-rays.
Those posterior PAs got me gagging, girl.
I'm
That's what
totally
we
joking.
need to do is we need to go to the sex stores and we need to buy like the blowjob stuff that that
Yeah,
supposed
the
to-
numb the back of the throat.
I know. Some of these people, I'm like, your poor husband.
No, but two of the things that I think help when you have gaggers that work for me is telling them to hum
Hummer. Give him a Hummer.
as they're biting down on the X-ray. You just tell them to hum, like
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
It works. I'm telling you, and I do that. I do that myself, actually.
Okay.
When
you're
I
taking
brush my
x-rays,
tongue.
wink, wink.
No, not when I'm doing that.
when
no.
you air
When I
quote,
brush my tongue.
your tongue, air quotes.
Yeah.
No, I'm telling you, try it.
Okay.
When you hum, you're not gonna gag if you hum.
Okay.
And another one is I tell my patients to move one of their legs, move it up and down.
I've tried that and it did not work. I've tried
No,
that.
because
really?
then they're moving their whole body, and then the X-rays all blurry.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, buy salt packets like you get
Salt?
at.
Yeah.
Yes,
on the lateral border of the tongue, right?
I don't know. I just get a little salt packet, rip it open, and I say, put some of this.
I don't care
on
if you
your
have high
tongue.
blood pressure. Eat this.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Put a little bit on your tongue and then rub it all around. And then we're going to take these x-rays. And they are like, I don't know. It just works.
I've done that with topical, like put topical on the lateral borders of their tongue, like toward the back.
Yes, that helps too.
I've done that.
Yeah.
The salt's just easier and it's cheap. You just go and buy like a big bag at like Sam's or Costco or wherever.
My fear with that though is if someone does have high blood
Yeah.
pressure, like I feel like I'm not supposed to do that.
Well, I know, but you know they're taking salt anyway in their regular food.
Yeah,
but
that's
it's just
true.
one time every
Yeah.
year, and they don't have to put the whole packet in there. That's why I rip it off and give it to them and say, put some on your mouth, whatever you feel comfortable with, and I'll give you a good rinse when we're all done.
Yeah.
But it usually does work.
Okay. I'll believe you.
Okay.
I'm gonna get some salt packets out from the every dental office has this drawer, right, where it's like all of the like plasticware, sauces,
Yes.
like soy
Yeah.
sauce,
Yeah.
like old ass fortune cookies.
Taco Bell
Office.
sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Office, how about my house?
Exactly.
Yes, I have a whole part of my
Drawer.
refrigerator reserved for that. I'm like,
I know.
once a year I clean it out, and I'm like,
I know.
this is gross.
Like, I don't think this is good anymore. When you open up that ketchup packet, it's like all water.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So yeah, I'll have to try that for somebody who does not have high blood pressure, just so you know.
Exactly.
I can ease Anna's anxieties.
Yes.
All right. I guess I don't give a shit.
One of the this one is I've never done this, and I don't know if you guys have, is polish your mirror with prophy paste to prevent fogging.
I've
Have
read
you ever
that.
done that?
I've read it, but I've not tried it because I'm always afraid it's going to scratch
Wouldn't
up
that
the mirror.
scratch the mirror?
That's what I was thinking. Wouldn't that scratch the mirror up and like?
In hygiene
know.
school, we dipped it in Listerine.
Yes, Heather, you
Yeah,
taught me that. But it
Yeah.
has to be actual Listerine with the alcohol, not Listerine Zero.
Yeah, it has to be like the real deal. I will sometimes just take my mirror and set it up against their cheek for a few seconds. And like I'm pulling their cheek out, and I'll say, sorry, I'm just warming my mirror up.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps a little bit, but...
That does help.
Yeah. I'm just like, can you please stop breathing for about an hour?
Stop breathing.
Stop breathing so I can clean your teeth.
I feel like there needs to be, this is how we make our millions, ladies. There needs to be like some sort of product, like a wipe, like, you know how there's lens wipes and stuff. There has to be something that we can, like a wipe that we can
There
use on
is.
our mirror. Oh,
I'll say there probably is.
There is an anti-fog like liquid or something. I forget. I don't know what it's called, but there is something that is like that where you can dip your mirror into this liquid and it's an anti-fog liquid. I don't know what it is, but I don't know the name. I'm sorry,
Well,
but
I'll never be.
I just
never
wait
be a millionaire.
when they exhale, it fogs, and then when they inhale, it goes away. So I just kind of wait till they inhale
Yeah.
again, and then I'm like, dig, dig,
and
dig,
then you're
dig,
like,
real
stop
quick.
breathing.
Stop it!
I've done that,
So,
definitely.
This is a hack that I've done for years for ortho patients. I brush their teeth with their toothbrush, the toothbrush that I'm going to give them to go home with.
oh,
I put some toothpaste on it, and I brush their teeth right when they sit in my chair. And it kind of kills two birds with one stone, where you're showing them how they should be brushing, but then you're also removing all that crap that's around their brackets.
Mm-hmm.
that's
That is
very
one of the-
smart.
Biggest time-saving hacks that I have with ortho patients, because we all know that those ortho patients,
yeah.
like they have a ton of crap all over their brackets. Go with the toothbrush
Yeah.
and get in there before.
So I have had braces recently. I got them off in May. I had them for a year and a half, and then I was a horrible non-compliant patient and didn't wear my retainers.
How dare you?
I know. I told them.
I'm the
Anyway.
worst with that. I'm not going to lie.
Ugh.
I'm awful.
I am a clincher, so I can't do it. I can hardly even whiten my teeth because I just want to bite down on the whitening trays. So
I'm the same way.
I am now in bottom braces again. So anyway, long story short, I have apologized to many of my kids in ortho because I learned having braces, they're impossible to floss.
Water pick.
Yes, exactly. And like,
why are we still demanding that ortho patients floss?
I
It's
don't
so
know.
absurd to me. It's like, just get a water pick.
Yes.
I don't expect my ortho patients to floss because I've had ortho as an adult. I'm not flossing in between each bracket.
Absolutely.
Well, you
I'm gonna
can't.
water pick.
Once you
No
get
way.
the brackets, the wires, the rubber bands, and then I have all these little tiny wires wrapped around, everything just gets snagged, and then you not only have food trapped in there, now you have floss that
And
has
wax
shredded and wax.
Screw
It's
that.
just, and then the shit is still there. So I have apologized to all of my patients that had braces. I'm like, I know it sucks, but you still gotta floss.
No,
Now I'm
they
like,
don't. Just get a water
No.
pick.
That's what I said. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I can feel your pain now. I know I've told you to floss before, but is your parents here? Because I'm going to go out there and tell them to get you a water pick. I don't expect you
Yeah.
to floss anymore.
It's
And
crazy.
yeah. Yeah. And
Crazy.
I use, we have a piezo. It's a Neutron or something from Acteon.
Yeah.
Don't do
hate
that. I love it.
piezo. I
love it.
piezo.
I don't know. They call them Satellacs at my office. I think that's old school, but
A what? A saddle axe?
Satellac.
What is that?
It's,
Is that a type of piezo?
I think it's like
I don't
a
know.
brand or something.
It must be a
Oh.
brand, but we've
Like
gotten all new
Cavitron is?
ones.
Okay.
Yeah, must be. But all the hygienists at my office, I've worked there for like 30 years, and they've always called it a Satellac. We
Like
did
a
get all
Cadillac?
like a Cadillac, but a Satellac. It's a piezo.
Is that the southern version of a Cadillac?
It's like the knockoff version. I don't know,
It's when you
but
order a
it's
Cadillac
through
from Wish.
Acteon. Yeah, from Wish. No, it really does work, and I really do like it. It has changed me from a Cavitron person to a Satellac.
One of my favorite ranters, Allie, she
Yeah?
had a similar hack for ortho patients. She said, use the if you sell Oral-B in your office, Oral-B
Yeah.
sends you something called Oral-B Test Drive,
Yeah.
which is where you can like have the patients like use
yeah,
Oral-B. She said to use that instead of polish for your ortho patients. I'm like, that's a great idea. Like you have them, or you go in
Yes.
for them with the test drive and go
Yes.
around, and it's going to reduce your scaling time.
Yeah,
That is a
And
good
so I thought
idea.
that was a really good hack.
that's
I
very
didn't read
smart,
that one.
Allie.
That is a good idea. I like that idea.
Everyone says that they work on the notes while the doctor's doing the exam.
Yes, I do.
Which sometimes I can do that, but like with some of my doctors, I can't because they're like, show me this x-ray, show me this, show me that. And I'm like trying to, and then all of our notes, because I know everyone says copy and paste on notes. We're in
I
open
copy
dental.
and paste.
Well, we have open dental. And all of our notes are like I could go in and we set them all up. So when we hit notes, all these little
Templates come up.
No,
Right?
just pop-up boxes with all these choices.
Oh.
Yeah, like templates, pre-made templates. I have that too.
So we
Yeah.
just click, 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 click. Now some of them are like multiple choice, and then some of them we can actually like type in, which is fantastic. But if you're in the middle of that, you can't just minimize it. So if you're in the middle of making your note, she's like, show me the PA of 14. I'm like, shit, hold on a minute. And then, I got to get through all my clicks.
Right.
And
This
then
is
pull it out.
why every hygienist needs an assistant.
We have
You
an
shouldn't-
assistant.
You shouldn't be doing the exams with the doctors. This is my theory. I feel like you should be in the next room with your next patient, and your assistant should be doing the exam with the doctor.
In a
Well, we don't
perfect
have a
world.
next room. I don't have
I
a
know.
next room.
I know. In a perfect world, you'd have an
Yeah.
extra room and an assistant, and you'd be able to do that, and you'd be able to see more patients, I feel like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love
We
assistant
don't.
model.
I mean, we have a very small, very well, I say small. I think we've got like 20 or 21 employees, but we are not corporate. We're a family, small
Yeah, like
business
small-
office.
Yeah.
But we have 2 doctors that own it, and an associate that comes in, but like we are busting at the seams right now. Like we all are like, okay, we need a bigger office.
Same thing. We're like booked out. I think I'm booked out until like March right now, which is insane to me. And I'm like, new patients are calling, and it's like, I'm like,
no,
shove them in another column. I don't know. Like, I'm like, I don't know what to do.
My office
I don't want to lose the
this.
patient.
No, my office does this, and it's amazing. So our front desk goes through the whole year and puts in blocks
for new patients,
for new patients. Yes, and that has worked out great. Like at first, I'm like, oh gosh, what if you don't?
We have that, but it's full until like March. It's insane.
Oh,
like I am literally, if I have an SRP patient that I've diagnosed with periodontal disease that needs SRP, I'm literally moving out that 20-year-old prophy patient to get that SRP in, because it's like, otherwise I'm making them wait 4 months.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to do. It's insane.
Yeah.
We're so booked out.
So
I mean, I guess
that's
it's a good
hard.
thing. It's a good problem to have.
It's a good problem to have. Just sounds like you need, yeah.
So the copy and paste
we need
thing,
more hygienists.
It's not going to work for everybody, but I do think it's a good time saver. Especially, I did this a lot in the office I was in for 7 years, especially as I got to know these patients. Like, I would just copy paste and change whatever needed changed, edit whatever needed edited on that. Something else that somebody said that they do that I think is a good idea that I haven't done is they reappoint their patient at the beginning before they even start the appointment.
Yes, I do that.
Yep,
I do that.
And I thought that was a really good idea too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of hit and miss. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 6 hygienists now.
Holy shit.
2 of us are full time. Susan just went to part time, which is 3 days a week. Sarah's 2 days a week, and then 2 that are, But we have 1 hygiene assistant for all of us.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like whenever she gets into us, she does all the goodie bags, the reappointing, all of that. So sometimes if I'm running behind and we have an open operatory, she'll get the patient sat, get the doctor in to do the exam, x-rays, goodie bag, and reappoint.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I liked that idea because sometimes I just forget, especially if I'm running a little behind, I'll forget. And then I go up to front. I'm like, oh, I forgot to reappoint this person. Not that front desk will mind doing it, but I just feel like, that should have been done through me.
Yeah, we're expected to have it before they go up front, have their next hygiene appointment scheduled.
The copy paste thing, when somebody brought that up years ago, was like, a light bulb came on. I was like, duh. That's like one of those, like, why didn't I think of that moments? And so I started doing that. I don't do it now since I'm so new at the office I'm at right now. I'm not comfortable with doing that. And plus,
but once you start seeing these patients...
I don't like the old hygienist's notes because she wasn't as detailed as me. And she didn't,
I write
she
books.
didn't put the degrees in which she had to lay back her patients.
I know. I've seen Anna, tell people on Rant, why are you putting that in the note? That's not pertinent to the note. That's a personal information. That goes somewhere else.
No, but it's true. There's in your clinical notes, it should be pertinent to clinical stuff. Like, not patient went on vacation last month. Like, that goes in another section.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I don't do that.
Keep
but I do write
to
books.
what you did. I don't write books. I just kind of plaque, light, calculus, moderate, bleeding, moderate. I'm not.
No.
Our ours is set up that each one is different, but it's patient present, almost like hygiene school.
Uh-huh.
Patient presents, and then we have a drop down box: healthy, localized gingivitis, generalized gingivitis, evidenced by.
Oh my God.
Yes. Shut up.
No.
So
you have please tell me you don't have the patient's gait. How they're walking.
What?
In your notes.
No.
Do you remember that from hygiene school?
Oh, no.
The patient's gait?
No.
Oh, we had that in hygiene school where you had to write down, how is the patient walking to your operatory? Yes.
Patient had swagger.
Yeah.
Patient
got a limp.
Patient
but we don't have to type all of that. It's already in. It's kind of like Mad Libs. You just, the boxes pop
add your
up.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the boxes pop up, it's pre-made, and then it all goes into a sentence. You're done.
Here is one of my favorite hacks that I learned that I never even thought of. Is when you have sensitive patients, is take their toothbrush, put some topical on it, and brush their teeth with the topical.
Yeah. Somebody
On
I
their
read
gums.
that and I was
I've
like,
never done that. I never thought to do that. I've never thought to do that.
Me neither.
So that does two things. It removes like that plaque, so you have to scale less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it also numbs them in the process. So you're, like you can scale off whatever's remaining.
Yeah.
I never thought to do that, and I don't know why.
And there were a couple of different tips like that for patients who, just had, sensitive gums or, those jumpy patients.
Putting topical on the floss, or putting it on the tip, or the tip of the scaler.
Or on the probe.
We have Aura Kicks, and I feel like it doesn't. But I did read that Aura Kicks is supposed to be in the fridge. Ours is not
I didn't know
kept in
that.
the fridge. I
Mine's
didn't
not in
either.
the
There was a
fridge.
whole
I didn't know
thing
that.
about that. And I didn't read much because we don't use it, so I don't know.
I do. So I guess on tomorrow I need to go put ours in the fridge.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was supposed to be in the fridge. I had no idea.
Something about the gel.
Yeah, I didn't either.
It stays in a gel form and stays in place or something.
Yeah. I noticed, okay, it's always just come out as like a nice liquid, gross tasting whatever. But here,
But I've noticed lately
more,
it comes out more gel.
Yes.
Yeah.
More lately. Yes. Lately it has been more like a gel. And it doesn't want to go into the sulcus. But that's just been recently. But I did read on here that someone said you're supposed to put it in the fridge. They didn't know that either until they, actually read the little paper that comes with it that tells you.
I didn't know that. I'll have to go back in and see.
Oh, and somebody also mentioned putting topical on a proxy brush, which is also like...
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
That makes sense. Duh, I don't know why I never...
Yes, here it is. Frances Goley.
She had, Frances, she had a lot of really
fridge.
good tips.
Yeah, I place Aura Kicks in the fridge to cool it for a few minutes prior to use. So
there you go.
Yeah.
It dispenses faster and is less bitter. That's the other thing. I always warn people. I'm like, I'm going to use this and it's going to taste horrible and I'm really sorry, but...
Yep. Yeah. And then Ashley...
Too bad.
Ashley said...
Too bad.
This is something that I do, speaking on hacks for patient comfort, is... Ashley said that when she has patients with sensitivity, she always just squirts the water from the air water syringe into their cheek and let them kind of swish and warm it up in their mouth.
Oh yeah.
And then suction it instead of just spraying their teeth off, going ham on their cold sensitivity.
Oh yeah, I do that. The only thing about that is you have those patients so you spray it in and you tell them to swish because the swishing warms it up. So instead of me just blasting their teeth to get the gunk off, they don't swish. They just let it sit there. And I'm like, dude, I need you to swish to get the shit off so I can see. So they rather just let it sit there or they swish. And then I'm like, okay, just open. They can't just open.
No, they're
yeah. Well, no, it's which I get. You're laying back. Your mouth is full of water.
Your mouth, yeah.
And then I tell you to open, and you're like, oh, I can't. It's going to go down the back of my throat. And so they try to, purse their lips and use their tongue, and then it f***ing goes everywhere, and then they look at me like I did it, and I'm like...
Do you know how to control your own body, bro? Come on.
So, I mean, I've had to just tell patients, look, I know this sounds
bother with
crazy.
any of this shit.
I know, you're mean.
I'm a mean hygienist. I'm just
I just tell them
this and that,
if they're having problems, I just say, I put the suction in them out and I say, close like a straw. And they close down.
Exactly.
I do too. I'm like, but they can't open. I'm like, if they're laying back and I let them swish, I'm like, okay, open.
I don't do that.
Yeah.
I don't let them swish. I just don't.
I shouldn't.
All right.
Because you're mean. You're mean. I don't want you.
I'm a mean hygienist.
I don't want you as my hygienist. You're the one that gives us a bad name. You're the one.
Yes, I am.
I know, but I bet your day goes a lot better.
Exactly.
Okay, so
you're gonna lay back.
Toward the end of the appointment, turning rooms over, flipping, and things like that. This was something that I learned in hygiene school, and I don't remember which of my classmates taught me this, or maybe it was even one of Heather's class that taught me, is when you have the barrier tape, to fold the ends.
Oh yeah, that was us.
Was that you?
Freak, yeah, that was us.
Yeah, fold the ends so the barrier tape isn't sticking together.
Yes,
and I
absolutely.
still use that to this day.
I still do that.
Yeah.
So my office is like green. We don't use we don't have headrest
You don't have
covers.
Yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, we don't use the overhead light because we all have loops with light.
Yeah.
So we have as little trash as possible because my doctors are very the less out. I mean, we recycle, so we don't do all that.
Mm-hmm.
We just wipe everything down. But
and that's perfectly acceptable.
If you have to do that, absolutely, you fold that tape in half.
Absolutely,
that's a nightmare.
So in the op I'm in now, I just have to reach over with my left hand, and when I'm done with something, and just throw it away. It's just right there in this little hole in my counter. So easy to do. But before, because I would have to flip my own room frequently if our assistant was with the doctor with surgery, I would hang the headrest over the back of the chair and use that as the garbage bag and just throw everything in there, and then throw that bag in the actual garbage bag. So that helped not having a bunch of stuff laying all over my tray. And
see, I know this is a shock, but I am OCD and a neat freak. I know.
No way.
No messes. My kids are not allowed to play. You can't dirty a dish. Yes, I know I'm horrible. So I can't stand for that stuff. I rearranged my room when I started my office 6 years ago. And I put the trash can right behind me inside the little sliding doors. So I just, something gets yucky, I just throw it right in the trash. So I don't have that piled up on my tray. And
the floss,
I can't stand that.
If I floss a patient, floss goes directly in the trash.
I know. But then that comes to bite me because then the doctor comes in and they're like, I need to check this contact. I'm like, okay, hold on.
No, yeah.
So I have to get new floss. But anyway.
So there was one that I've always done this, and I thought it was kind of a good hack for patients who are kind of grouchy,
punch him in the face.
Show him who's dominant here.
But if you're running behind, instead of, putting the blame on yourself or the office, say, I'm sorry for your wait or something like that. Instead of that, put it back on them about how nice they are and make them feel good.
Thank you for your patience.
And say, thank you for your patience.
Yeah, don't say I'm sorry. Yeah. Just say,
I'm sorry for running behind.
Thank you for your patience. Let's get you back. I'm sure everything's going to go smooth. My office, the doctors, we have a drawer full of gift cards.
Yeah.
And we're told, it's like the Ritz hotels. You do whatever you have to do to make the guests happy up to a certain amount.
Yeah.
So we have everything from $5 to $25 gift cards. And so, if we're running behind, whether it's my fault or their fault or the patient before's fault, we just whip out, hey, where do you like coffee from?
Yeah.
And, we give them a gift card, and that usually,
We did that at another
over.
office for if we were running 20 minutes behind. We would do either Starbucks or a car wash gift card.
Yeah, we have everything from Target, Starbucks. My office is very, because we are a family-owned small business, everything we do from gift cards to our Christmas outings is we reach out to small businesses in town. So a lot of ours are to restaurants that are small family owned.
So we don't do anything like that. Sorry. So as you guys know, I'm a hygiene manager and I train the hygienists in some regions of my company. But so what I tell them is if you're running a little bit behind, remove your gloves, leave the patient you're with now, go out to the waiting room and acknowledge that patient and just say, Mrs. Jones, I am so sorry that I'm running behind. We're cleaning a room right now. We'll get you in as soon as we can. And I feel like patients just appreciate the acknowledgement of it.
Because I know if I'm sitting in the doctor's office, we're all women. And so we've all been to the gynecologist, and we all know that gynecologist wait is unlike any other. So,
you're sitting there naked for 20 minutes, and it's like, okay, so but God forbid.
I'm 5 or 10 minutes behind, 10 minutes behind maybe, not so much 5, but if I know I'm running a little behind, I will have the front desk make sure that they tell the patient, please tell them I'm running 10 minutes behind. Because
we have Vanga, which is kind of like a little messaging system on all of our computers. So I will send to the front desk lady. I'm like, hey, can you let my patient if they're here know I'm running behind, that we'll be right with them, give them a gift card, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then my fingers are crossed. They're like, oh, well, I can't wait. I gotta go.
Bye. So I just wanted to go over some funny hacks that we got.
Do it.
Some funny ones is
for it.
quitting, calling in sick, and Xanax.
Yes,
I agree with all three of those.
Yes, all of those also work to make your day go by smooth.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Oh,
No alcohol. No alcohol.
No,
I
alcohol
know.
works well too, but you can't work and drink
Yeah.
alcohol, so don't do that. We're not,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. That's a lawsuit.
That's a big no-no.
That's frowned upon.
All right. Well, if we are ready to sign off.
I think we're ready to sign off, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening to the RDH Rant Takeover. Depending on the day this airs in November, we hope to see you at the Greater New York Dental Meeting from November 25th to the 29th.
Yeah.
Or if we air after that, we hope we had a chance to meet our listeners and our members. Time for us to sign off and time for you to floss off. Love, peace, and brush your teeth. Bye.
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 See you later.
Peace out.